Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. So coming to you from the range. I actually just finished up, so I know I mentioned that I would film the part of the barrel break-in process on this Howa 1500. Well, I lied because I didn't film any of it, but I kind of had to cut the break-in short. Howa's break-in procedure calls for a total of 30 rounds for the break-in process. I shot 20. And I've got to call it quits, mostly because I'm in a time crunch. I've got to get back home, or I got to stop by a store, pick up some bologna. We've got a church get together tonight, and I got to smoke some bologna for that. It's kind of a potluck deal or whatever, you know, bring whatever. So I got to do that, but then also got that crap rolling in, so I don't want to get drenched again like we did last time trying to do this. But real quick, so here was the setup pretty much. We've got the Howa 1500, just stock factory rifle, heavy barrel, 308. I've got the Cabela's Covenant 7 scope on top. That's the 5 to 35 by 56 second focal plane. And I was shooting at 100 yards. And so what the process calls for is Windex and some type of copper remover is what you need. All right. And you'll start off, before you even fire a shot in your rifle, you will clean it with Windex. So you'll just kind of run a patch of Windex through the barrel, and then a couple of dry patches. Then you'll start the process. You'll shoot one shot, and you'll repeat the Windex. So you'll clean. You'll run a Windex patch down it after each shot, and a couple of dry patches, and then also a copper removing patch, and a couple of dry patches after that. You'll do that process after each shot for the first 10 shots. And now also, part of the reason why I didn't film any of this was because it calls for a 5-minute break in between each shot. And so it takes a while. Okay, I've been out here for a while trying to get this stuff done, but I haven't just been shooting this. I've also been shooting the 357 Magnum, the Ruger 77 chambered in 357 Magnum. Our 350 Legend, that's the Winchester XPR, and also this monster right here, Taurus Raging Hunter, chambered in 44 Remington Magnum. This thing is an absolute beast. When I got it, it came with this little 2 to 7 scope, some kind of cheap little Osprey 2 to 7 deal. But I decided to actually put that on my 357, and so I think that's a better fit. Now it is a long eye relief scope, so it is a little weird. It's not a true pistol scope, but it is a long eye relief scope, which works out fine on this rifle. It works out okay. You just can't get super close to it, you know, like you maybe traditionally would on something like that BSA. Optics 4 to 12, you know, you're not going to get as close to that when you're shooting this rifle, which is fine. So but it worked out fine. It worked great, I think. But that was part of what I wanted to do today while I'm out here breaking this barrel in, was also since I swapped this stuff around, put this scope on here, I wanted to get that sighted in. I had loaded up some 350 Legend stuff I wanted to test, see how it shot, and then also I wanted to see if this red dot, this is like a $40 red dot from UTG. I just wanted to see if it would hold up to a 44 rim mag, because I don't anticipate, you know, 50 yards is probably going to be our max range with this guy, and that's what I was shooting at today. And I didn't really have a great rest or anything to hold, you know, as far as holding and stuff. I just had a bag that I was propping it up on. And so here's our 44 rim mag. This is me making a bunch of adjustments on that red dot, so this was me messing around with it quite a bit. This is a lot of the Winchester 240 grain jacketed soft point. So this is this is your hunting ammo right here, and then I also have 15 rounds of the Hornady 225 grain FTX, so I shot a 5-shot group of that. That's what that is right there, these 5 shots, okay, at 50 yards. And that red dot, it's a 3 MOA dot, so it's not super precise to begin with. And when you go on a higher brightness setting, you know, the dot, it really does grow quite a bit. So I actually crank it down when I'm doing this type of stuff. I'll crank it down to a 1. I find I'm just easier to, or it's easier to hold just a little bit tighter on that lower brightness setting. And then this is our 308 break-in target. Don't pay attention to this stuff. This is not 308 stuff right here, or these 3 right here. That's not 308. These are the first 18 shots that we put through the rifle, and these are random hand loads that I had left over from God knows where. Okay, so I didn't actually load these up specifically for this break-in process. I think this is 165 grain Spear boat tail Spitzer. Just some, again, random stuff I had left over sitting in the closet from I have no idea when. Yeah, but so I don't even know what the load was. But there's the 18 shots for that. So pretty good. And then the last 2, I only had 18 of those. And then the last 2 are some 165 grain Game Kings hollow point boat tail. That's a hunt load that I'd worked up for my dad. And so I have a few of those. And so I just put the last 2. I shot the last 2. I was aiming up here too, by the way. Shot the last 2. So we're low and to the left on our point of aim, point of impact, but it's all good. So there's that. And then I gotta run through this target real quick. I gotta hit the road. Oh, here's those. That's the Game Kings. Those last 2 shots, that's those guys right there. So but this is our 350 Legend target. We're gonna have to try to come back and digest this more. Yeah, there's not a lot of good on this target, and we'll talk about it in a later video. I'll just do a separate 350 Legend video for that. I got to get packed up and get going. All right, guys, that's it. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch y'all next time.